Hello again and welcome to another Black Templar Friday! So it is Friday the 6th of July 2018 and it is the end of another grueling week for myself. So before we get into this, for those of you that aren't familiar with Black Templar Fridays, this is a fairly irregular series that I do, although I try to do it once every 2 weeks. Try and keep it like that. Where sometimes it's on a Friday, sometimes it's not. Most of the time it's not even about Black Templars. But the whole thing originated from basically, I used to take I still do take my guard tactics very seriously, and I wanted an outlet for a more casual, sort of brain dump, just off the cuff kind of video. And so originally it started off as like a bit of a painting blog about my Black Templars and tactics I was learning from going from being a guard commander, blah blah blah. Basically, guys, it's just an ad hoc series that I do to talk about things in a more casual way. That's it. There's no script, there's very little notes. I just basically chat about stuff that I've been doing throughout the week, painting, hobbying, and normal real life stuff, basically. And it's a good opportunity for you guys to leave loads of comments down in the comment section, just talking about awesome and epic stuff you've been doing this week, hopefully about Warhammer. But if you've got a particularly normal life kind of thing that's been really epic, big win for you, don't forget to put it down there in the comments. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So yeah, grueling week for me. Work. Not going to get into too much detail, guys, but basically a couple of people are leaving my department, and as I've been there the longest, it's my job to basically make sure all the other work gets picked up. So I'm working long days and my painting is suffering for it. The model I've got up here is my second chaplain for my Black Templar army, and it took me a full week to do. I normally am able to crack out a chaplain or a character in the evening. Sometimes I like to sit down and just paint a model from start to finish, and it takes me an evening to do the paint job and like half an evening to do the washes. But it took me all week, just because I was only able to paint him for like 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Literally, the first night, all I was able to do was just paint his bolt pistol. That's all the spare time I had. So yeah, absolutely snowed under with work, and I really don't want to fall behind too much because I'm still doing my Bolter and Chainsword ETL vow. And for that vow, I have I have a captain and a lieutenant to paint. 5 neophytes, which fortunately I've made a little bit of progress on. They've just got through the white pauldrons on those guys now. On 4 of them, I've completed 1 of them, apart from needs a bit of touch up with the black, but. 4 neophytes, 5 neophytes, and so 1 captain, 1 extra captain, 1 extra lieutenant, 5 neophytes, 5 marines, and that is the vow I've got to get done by the end of this month. But I've got a personal vow as well, because I want to take to the net. There's another 1-day tournament going on at Critical Hit Games, which I really want to go to, and I'm kind of keen to take my Black Templar Black Tide, not because I expect to win anything, I'll probably come last, but just because it'll be really cool just to turn up with a fully painted Black Tide. I think it'll take a lot of people by surprise. I don't think it'll be competitive because apparently since the Night Codex came out, people have just been playing with Imperial Knights pretty much non-stop down there, and I think that is possibly the worst matchup for my Templars to face. But hell, at least the games will be short. But yeah, so yeah, absolutely, I'm struggling to get my painting backlog done. Kind of also, it's really bad. I want to collect another Imperial Guard army. I've been, like I said in one of my videos, I've been binge watching the Great War series on YouTube. For those of you that don't know about it, go and check it out. It's absolutely fantastic. It's coming to the end of its life now, but it's a 4-year series going through week by week what happened in World War One, starting from the outset to the end. So and they started it in 2014, doing it week by week, and they're going to end in 2018 And so World War One ended in 1918. So we're almost there, almost at the end of the video series now. So it's going to be really interesting to fill that gap in my YouTube live, because that's one of the regular videos that I watch, but I'm re-watching it. I've been binge watching it. I've been like, oh, I just want to have a Death Corps of Krieg army basically, and I want to use Anvil Industry miniatures for it, but I really can't. I can't really justify another Imperial Guard army for one. And I can't, running out of space in my small apartment as it is, and the missus will probably kill me if she finds out I'm collecting another 140k army. Also, I've got so much backlog. I've got the Black Tide to finish off the Templars, which admittedly is almost there. Black Tide to finish off the Templars, and then also for the Templars, I've got 2 Rhinos, a Predator, an Ironclad, and 2 Land Speeders, and a Storm Talon, and a Land Speeder Storm. Got all that stuff I need to do for my Black Templars. Then what I'll do is I'll do the Black Tide, then I'll leave that, because that's at least that army done, as in the Black Tide done. Then I've got to do my Gene Stealer Cult, which I do love my Gene Stealer Cult. I've only painted 10 models out of like the 100 models and 3 vehicles that I have for that army, so that's going to be good. I've got loads to do on them, and again, I only really get one person done a night in that army. And then I've got to do something with my Chaos army. Got to do something with it, not sure what I'm going to do with it. I don't know. I've got so much chaos. I've got about 100 Marines, Chaos Marines. And it's a bit of a dilemma. It's a bit of a question I want to put out to you guys. Okay. So I've had this Chaos Army for a really long time, and I've invested a small amount of money in it. But a lot of the models I've got second hand, or were just given to me, especially in 6th and 7th edition, when Chaos players were just dropping out of the hobby left, right and centre. They just gave models away because they were so disgusted with what Games Workshop had done, and they couldn't sell them because no one would buy them because everyone knew how bad Chaos was. So I've got this quite large Chaos army, but I'm just not feeling it. And I always said, because I have about 40 Khorne Berserkers, and I always said, if Khorne Berserkers became good, I would dive on top of my Chaos army in a heartbeat. And you know what? Khorne Berserkers have been absolutely fantastic in 8th edition. They are the premier Marine equivalent shock infantry. But I've used them in like 2 games in 8th edition. I've won both of them, which is absolutely fantastic. But I just don't feel like I'm getting anything out of the army. I'm just not using it. It's just taking up the space. I'm not using it. And I kind of feel like for the channel I need to, paint it up and use it in like a narrative campaign or something. But that's going to be such a long way away. I don't think that's going to happen until 2019. I think I'm going to be spending the rest of 2018, realistically. I think the rest of 2018 is going to be spent finishing off the Black Templars and finishing off the Gene Stealer Cult and completing the Gene Stealer Cult. And it's kind of like, okay, but when am I ever going to get around to using my Chaos? I do have quite a big collection of. I've got a massive Imperial Guard. I've got 2 Imperial Guard armies, 2.5. Although I'm going to convert all my Cadians to Mordians, but I've got my Cadians, which have got the same paint scheme as my Mordians, and I use those together. So basically, I've got my massive Mordian army. I've got a huge Mordian army. I've got my Steel Legion. I've got my Black Templars. I've got my Grey Knights. And I've got my Chaos. And I've got my old Arbites as well. For those of you that don't remember, I have a custom made Arbites army. It's really cool. Not gonna lie, it's really cool. It's all scouts which have had loads of conversion work done on them in Land Speeder Storms, and all the scouts have got shotguns, and there's loads of bikers as well, scout bikers. It's a really cool little army, but like I just never ever used it. It was a project. It was a modelling project that I did for 7th edition, for when I used to do combat patrol, and I took it a little bit further, and that's why my Arbites were originally a mixture of Militarm Tempestus and Space Marine Scouts, but then 7th edition came along, the points changes came along, really threw everything out of whack, and now now the army struggles a little bit, and it's kind of like, well, I'm not using the Arbites, and the Grey Knight army, my Ordo Malleus army, I'm not really using them as much as I want to as well. So I'm here thinking to myself, should I just get rid of should I just sell should I do a proper clean out? Should I just go absolutely nuts and just sell off like my Grey Knights and my Arbites and all of my Chaos, just go for proper purge, just sell all that off, get loads of money for it, and then use that money to like collect this essentially Deathcore of Krieg army? But then the question is, if you've already got a Steel Legion army and you've already got a Mordian army, do you really need a Deathcore of Krieg army? Can I really face painting another 150 to 200 guardsmen? It's a very, very, very difficult question, because I'm just concerned. I have a lot of armies that I'm not using. I mean, honestly, like, I know the channel, this is going to sound very controversial, guys. The channel's called Mordian Glory, but I use my Steel Legion pretty much every week now. I love my Steel Legion so much. To be fair, it's because my Steel Legion are my best painted army. Slight exaggeration, I alternate between my Steel Legion and my Black Tide. They're the two armies I alternate the most. But it's been probably a month, 2 months now, where I haven't even pulled out a Mordian model. Let's have a quick drink there, guys. Maybe not quite that long. Maybe that long? I'm not sure. Basically, the last time I used my Mordians was a couple of weeks after the Dark Elder Codex came out. So, there you go. I absolutely love my Mordians to pieces, and I'm never gonna get rid of them. I just need to know I just need to know what I want to do with them. I guess that's the question. What do I want to do with them? I think they're a massive project to redo all of them. But it's like, well, what's easier, redoing models we already have, or building and painting a new army that's essentially going to do the same thing? At the end of the day, my Mordian army is the 50th Mordian Rifles. They're all about mass infantry wave tactics. But, like, I don't know. I think the problem with the army, I think the reason why my Steel Legion do so well and my Black Templars do so well is that I built them all in one go. I had a vision, and I worked towards the vision, and I play tested, and I had that vision, and then I used that experience, and I built the army I built the army in like one period, like a 6-month period. And the kind of problem with my Mordians is that they're an army I've had for like almost 10 years, and they were never ever built in one go. They were very, very slowly accumulated. Very slowly accumulated. And so what that means is I have a lot of quite random shit in the army, and the army is in quite bad shape. And when I was buying the army, I was on a very tight budget. I was a student or at school, so I often had to compromise the effectiveness of the army because of the budgetary constraints. So it's kind of like I have a lot of stuff in my Mordian army, but I only have like 3 melter guns and no plasma. Weird. You know, I only have like, outside of my Steel Legion, I only have, I think, 4 or 5 Cadian plasma guns. Because plasma guns were expensive. I have an almost infinite number of flamers and grenade launchers, but I have very few plasma guns. So it's just interesting. I just feel like I've got a lot of armies. I'm not really using most of them, and if I'm not really using them, should I make way for an army that I will want to use? But then, at the same time, am I going to regret selling some of these things off? Like, am I going to regret getting rid of my Arbites? Am I going to regret that? Maybe, but if I haven't used them, if I've used my Chaos like less than 5 times in like 2 years. I've used my Arbites. I haven't used my Arbites since 8th edition dropped, pretty much. I've had 1 game with them since 8th edition dropped. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like I've got a lot of armies cluttering up my limited space, and I'm not really using any of them. So that's the question I have, guys, is what do you guys think I should do? Do you think I should hold on to them for now? Maybe, and then get, you know, and or should I just bite the bullet and just be like, look, you're not, just say to someone, I'm not using them. I said I was going to use that Chaos when 8th edition came out and Berserkers got good. I still haven't done it. If I'm still not going to do it now, I'm never going to do it. That's it. I mean, the thing is, like, every so often I do get like the whisperings of the dark gods in my head, and then I really want to use my Chaos, but then the whisperings go away after like a day or so. It's a difficult question, guys. I need some feedback on this. So, bit of a weird Black Templar Friday episode. Not really talked a lot about like actual modelling or tactics or anything, but it's still really, I think it's an important episode because I need to get some feedback from you guys. I need to know what you guys, what would the subscribers do? That's what I need to know. So leave lots of comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.